Meanwhile, every time I spend an unplanned like $3, I'm like meticulously calculating in my head, like, oh my God, what is this going to do to me? I will never recover from this financial investment of bread.
I have decided I am doing a 30-day, maybe longer, of no more spending on literally anything except for the necessities, because
They just think they can squeeze more and more and more. Everyone's increasing their prices on every front and saying, why isn't anyone having children? Gee, I wonder.
$280 a month to drive my vehicle that I fucking own. Then you want me to pay car insurance? Like, where the fuck does that money even go?
Man, I can't afford to give a fuck about shit but the come up.
I'm missing out on my youthful years because I'm fucking broke. 18 to 22 has just not even been fun.
Where have we gotten to as a society where making over $100,000 is not enough? And like everybody is okay with that.
Grocery bill too high, rent too high, bills in general too high, just your day-to-day activities too high.
Stay with your fucking parents, bro. Because I promise you, you think you're making a lot of money now. You think you're just rolling in the dough. Until you move out, you have to pay real hardcore bills, every fucking bill. And then it turns out you're actually fucking poor. I'm poor. I'm poor as fuck, bro.
I'm working, you're working, everybody's working. So why does it feel like we're all broke? Every month, these bills show up stronger than a month before. And my paycheck keeps getting knocked out in the first round. At this point, survival is feeling like a full-time side hustle. Check this out.
Paid $70 to fill up my fucking gas tank. I have a car, a sedan, not a truck, not a SUV, not a fucking van. $280 a month to drive my vehicle that I fucking own. Then you want me to pay car insurance? Like, where the fuck does that money even go? If you don't get into an accident for 5 years, I just paid you $300 a month for 5 years for what? For what? For you to have my back, potentially? You know, this shit's a scam.
Man, I can't afford to give a fuck about shit but the come up. Money is all that matter right now, man. Y'all know I had my clothes at my job, right? Tell me why my manager told me I had to find somewhere else for my shit to be. So, I'm just taking that on the chin right now. And my clothes is just over there by the freeway right now as I sit here and look fucking stupid. Man, you know how they say, when bad shit is happening, that's when the breakthrough was coming through. I don't see no breakthrough. That's why I said I can't really focus on shit right now but getting this paper, man, because I can't give a fuck about no spirituality. I can't give a fuck about no God. I can't give a fuck about no Jesus, no religion at all, man. I'm at rock bottom, and none of that shit really matters.
I'm missing out on my youthful years because I'm fucking broke. 18 to 22 has just not even been fun. I hate it because there's hairstyles I want to try and outfits I want to get, places I want to go. And I'm only going to look like how I look for so much time because I'm young right now. But like, fuck. Fucking broke.
When do you think they'll get it? When do you think they're going to understand that people cannot afford the lives that they want? They can't afford the children. The generations will continue to get smaller. People will continue having fewer children. When do you think that's going to happen? Like, it's not a matter of, oh, well, it's just like a minor dip. It's a matter of the fact that people can barely make it work on their own. Or if you're in a situation like myself, I'm finally making really good money. I'm not going to immediately funnel that to a freaking kid. No, absolutely not. And yet the cost of living is still insane. Inflation's still insane. Housing still insane. And it's like they just think that they can continue to escalate on every front and everyone's still going to comply. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to collapse. Like, I just don't understand why this is all coming as a surprise for them. They just think they can squeeze more and more and more. Everyone's increasing their prices on every front and saying, why isn't anyone having children? Gee, I wonder.
When I was a kid, my mom made about $60,000 a year. We were able to go on 2 family vacations. We had all the things we needed in our home to like survive, eat. Mind you, my mom was a single mother of 2 children. We had everything that we needed as kids, clothes and like new outfits, and like this was only 60,000. I make double that and I can barely take care of myself. And I am very financially savvy. Like I really handle my funds really well. Where have we gotten to as a society where making over $100,000 is not enough? And like everybody is okay with that. And it's just me. Could you imagine if I had two children, a home, like a house with like a yard and like what has life become where there is no more middle class? It's either you're rich or you're poor. And like we're just waking up every day and just saying, I guess I'll go to work and work 8 hours a day to come home and live not in fear because I know God will take care of me, but it creates so much anxiety when you don't get to benefit life because you have to pay for life. Just venting, guys. I'm off today. God forbid you have an off day and just want to relax. You're scared. You just want to go to work so that you can keep it up. But I hope you're having a good day.
Man, I know a lot of people say this, but I feel like it's unfair that we had to grow up and become adults in the most unaffordable time in human history. Like, bro, grocery bill too high, rent too high, bills in general too high, just your day-to-day activities too high. Like, bro, why gotta be us? Like, why, big bro?
Being an adult kind of sucks because I'm making the most money right now that I have ever made in my entire life. And I am the brokest that I've ever been. When I was living with my girlfriend's mom, bro, I was chilling. $500 for rent. That's all I had to pay. We good. Now I have to pay rent. I have to pay Wi-Fi. I have to pay the water bill. I have to pay the light bill. I have to pay fucking for my own groceries. All the fucking groceries in the house. The groceries go in 2 fucking seconds. We spend $300. The hoes are gone in fucking a week, 2 weeks, nigga. It's just like, fuck. It's pretty fucking stressful. And I make a good amount of money. I'm not broke by any means. I make more than most people, a lot of people, right? And I'm still fucking poor. I don't know how people live. Sometimes I regret moving out. I love having my own space and stuff, but progressing in life would have definitely been easier if I just would have still been paying that $500 in rent living with my fucking girlfriend's mom. So yeah, if you're not ready for the financial burden that comes with moving out, doing your own thing, becoming an adult, paying actual fucking bills, stay with your fucking parents, bro. Because I promise you, you think you're making a lot of money now, you think you're just rolling in the dough. Until you move out, you have to pay real hardcore bills, every fucking bill, and then it turns out you're actually fucking poor. I'm poor. I'm poor as fuck, bro.
How are y'all surviving how expensive life is right now? Like, no joke. I feel like I'm always constantly thinking about how I'm drowning in debt. And like, my rent is closer to $3,000 than it is to wait, I can't even say it. It's closer to $3,000 than it is to $2,000. Like, literally, I would have to round up. And y'all, my credit score right now is making me ill. On top of that, my husband is the only one working. He travels for work. Everything just be on him, which is stressful as fuck. What kind of jobs do autism parents have? Like, what kind of jobs work with therapy schedules? Like, where are the remote jobs? Like, I don't know. And then I'm pregnant. I don't know what the hell to do. Like, life just sucks. Like, life sucks.
Hey, I know I'm finna ruffle some feathers with this one, but y'all hear me out. Finna make somebody mad. Just because you bought a house, just because you decided to get up and buy a house, that does not fucking impress me. But instead, how you bought the house will impress me way more than just saying that you got a house. All it says to me is, hey, I got a house. This is how my brain works. Somebody say I got a house. They're young, 20, 30, whatever the fuck it is. Now we already know the statistics. 80% of Americans are in debt. Majority of people only make 40 grand a year. Yada yada yada. We all know the fucking numbers. You buying a house says to me, I just put myself in a position to where I have to keep a job and maintain a job for the next 15 to 30 years of my fucking life. Because when you sign up for that mortgage, They're gonna ask if you want a 15 to 30-year mortgage. That's heart wrenching to me, knowing that they already taken away pensions. Pensions is not gonna be here to help your ass. Social Security is not gonna be here to help your ass. All this shit that our parents and grandparents got, they just not gonna be here when we get older. So you got to think a little bit smarter. Why would you take all your money out your account that you've been saving up for years to go buy a house? Which is what you should have did instead was go get a 2, 3, or 4 unit and got that building and use the rents from that to go purchase your house. So now that's paying for your home instead of you paying for your home out your pocket.
Did y'all know that there are people who exist in this world right now who can just afford things? There are people who can just go grocery shopping. There are people who have all of their bills set to auto draft. There are people who, whenever they need gas in their car, they just fill up the whole tank every time. Meanwhile, every time I spend an unplanned like $3, I'm like meticulously calculating in my head, like, oh my God, what is this going to do to me? I will never recover from this financial investment of bread.
I have decided I am doing a 30-day, maybe longer, of no more spending on literally anything except for the necessities, because honestly, at this point, I don't think I can afford it. So, no more energy drinks, no more coffees at work, nothing, literally nothing. And I'm going to use this app to keep me accountable because I don't know if I can do it on my own. And if you know me in real life, ask me, Rachel, did you buy anything today? Did you buy anything this week? Where'd you get that Alani? Where'd you get that Celsius? You ask me, call me out on it, because I'm the gas station that I got gas at yesterday for $4.39 is now up to $4.47. So I have no choice but to cut all my spending for only the necessities. And that's what I'm going to do. And TikTok is going to keep me accountable. Ask me in the comments, hey, did you buy something today? Did you buy something this week? And I will go, I don't know if I'll do it daily on what I spent in a day. It should be 0 every single day. But maybe at like the end of the week, I will be like, okay, I bought this, or I didn't buy anything this week. So I'm going to go for 30 days and possibly for the rest of my life, or until I can afford gas. Because let's not talk about oil prices either, which are okay. Anybody else want to join me? Let me know. We can do this together.
Bro, I know other people are feeling this too. Tell me why I have 3 jobs. 3 jobs and I'm still broke. I'm working than both my parents and grandparents combined together, and I still see nobody. Like, real shit, and I mean this with my whole chest. I hope the entire United States government, the White House, all of it, I just want them blown up. I want it done. I want it over with. And I mean that shit with my chest. Like, it's torture. This is the bad place, and it's not even funny. Like, everybody making jokes. This shit ain't funny. It's not funny, actually. I'm stressed out. Do you know I work at Amazon from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Then I have another job from 7 a.m., well, 7:15 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then I have another job at 3:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Don't ask me when I get sleep, because that's not a thing. And I'm still broke. I'm still broke. I want to myself. I'm like, this don't even make no damn sense. And now I'm like, I can't even cry. I've now trained, no, the United States of America has trained me to not cry. I have 5 to 10 minutes to cry a day max, and that's it. I don't have time for nothing else. I have to get to work. I have to get to work. There is not enough devil's lettuce in this world to kill the stress I have right now. Mind you, I was homeless. Do you know, like, I was thriving financially living in my car. This ain't it. Like, bro, I'm making what, $17 an hour? That covers what? My left toe? I still got a car note, insurance. Now I have rent. I have no stuff because my dad's a piece of shit. This is my room. Been here for 2 months. I don't have a bed. This desk I just got for cheap because I wanted to play sex. I have nothing. I'm mad. I'm irritated. The United States government is pissing me off. And you know what? My dad, I you know what? That's gonna be a whole separate thing because I just want to throttle him sometimes. but I don't want to be near him. Like, it would be nice if, you know, if there's a God, why can't he come down himself and whoop that nigga's ass? But I digress.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, and I was just like, life when you get older is interesting. And as a child, there are things you did not know, but as adult, you later find them out. One of the things that you find out that you have to do is work to provide for yourself. Who said I wanted to do that? Who said I wanted to work? They probably like, oh no, you're supposed to work in your 20s so you could just get up. I don't want it no more. Why is it like this? They didn't sign me up for this. Y'all didn't say nothing about this. Y'all didn't say nothing about this. Work. Why did our parents get it so easy and we have it so hard? I was talking to somebody who was older than me, and they're like, man, I see how things are harder for you. You think? Life ain't easy no more. Life never was really easy. You know what I'm saying? It just was a little cheaper. And I think I'll go with cheaper than easy. That you're cheating like, well, damn it, I don't want this high expensive shit. You know what I mean? I don't know who's no life ain't 20 cents for just an apartment. You know what I'm saying? A car's not 15 cents anymore. A phone is not $4. You know? You know?
I really don't blame people for not having a will to live, not having a will to work, not having a will to do whatever, especially in this society. Like, look around you. Why would anyone be happy with the current system that we are in? A lot of people like to call my generation lazy, say that they don't want to work, but there's no incentive anymore. Back then, you could be working a minimum wage job and still afford to feed a family. Now you can't even afford to feed yourself. So it's just like, what the fuck is the point? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of us are just so tired of living in a society that does not see our worth, that does not see our value, that does not, just like we're not getting the fruits of our labor, essentially. It's all just labor, 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 labor. And I'm 21 years old. I'm in school. I know that I'm going to have a good career. However, I do not blame people younger than me who are still in my generation or even Gen Alpha just not having a will to try in school, because it's just like, bro, like, what are we even trying for at this point, And it's just like, I know I tell you guys to have a positive outlook and to have a positive mindset, which is what I'm working on, but it is so hard to work on having a mindset when your society reflects the opposite. Let me know what you guys think.
I just watched a TikTok asking the question of what is going to happen when the average American can no longer afford to live in this country. And a lot of the comments were saying, oh, we'll just move to Europe or move to another country or something like that. And, pretty much saying that they'll rescind their citizenship and move somewhere else, which in a perfect world, that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? If you can make US dollars while living in another country or finding a place that just doesn't really require as much bullshit as this country does to live, then yeah, I'm all for it. But I think, and I've had this theory for a while, I think it's going to take a different turn. Once it gets to the point where the average American can no longer afford to live with basic essentials, can't afford groceries, can't afford housing, things like that, I think that corporations are going to take over. I really think that there are plans in place to establish corporate housing and pretty much just living in a company issued pod like Idiocracy or Ready Player One, where you live there as long as you're working at that job and everything is provided by the company, nothing is yours, and you'll just be happy with it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the direction that we're going in. I know that there are corporations out there that have been implementing this, they've been buying properties. And I think that that's what they're getting ready for is that type of scenario if nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that we as a society, especially my generation, we're kind of left holding the bag. We've been conditioned to be complacent. We've been conditioned to be comfortable as long as we have, our little paychecks, as long as we have Netflix and our little car to go to work with CarPlay, and you have that little bar that's nearby to go get drinks with your buddies. as long as we have all those little creature comforts, we're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Other countries have burned their cities down for much less than what we tolerate. And our forefathers have also burned their cities down for much, much less than what we tolerate. So I think that that's the direction that we're going in. I mean, I feel that capitalism as a whole has just overtaken every nook and cranny, every crevice of American society. Everywhere you turn, somebody's trying to bleed you fucking dry. You know what I'm saying? Why is a gordita crunch from Taco Bell by itself almost $6, where you can get their big box with a combo and a drink for the same price? It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that it's just bottom line trying to expand that margin while paying as little as possible to the people who make it happen, those means of production. And what's also sad to see is there are people who advocate for these corporations and say, why should they pay you a livable wage? Why why do you feel entitled to luxury? And they think that a living wage is a luxury and a privilege. You know what I'm saying? And, well, learn a valuable skill. I did, so you should. I paid my house off, but they failed to mention that they live in bumfuck Kentucky, where the cost of living is fucking minimum wage, and their houses start at $60,000 for a fucking single wide. You know what I'm saying? They fail to tell you that. They fail to tell you that they're privileged in their life, that their parents helped them buy a house, that their spouse makes good money, that they're a dual income household. Not everybody's living like that. And a lot of the places where folks want to live, not your bumfuck town, it's going to cost money. You got to pay to play. You know what I'm saying? And people can't just uproot and take a risk and move to a small town hoping that they're going to find a good job within 50 miles of said town. You know what I'm saying? I'm very privileged with my job. I work 100% remote. I can live anywhere in the country as long as there's good internet, and I can make the same salary. And I'm blessed enough to be able to make a little bit over six figures with a little bit of overtime and bonuses. But I still empathize with people who are struggling because I have family members who don't make as much as I do. And they have children who are just starting out in the world, and they're not going to make anywhere near what I'm making starting out as young adults. And they're just going to have to figure it out. And I understand that nobody's coming to help you, nobody's coming to save you. But you should also learn to empathize with your neighbor, because God forbid something happens to you where you got to start over, or you get fired from your job, or your trade is no longer essential. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel that paying other employed full-time workers a livable wage is an insult to you, maybe it's because you're also underpaid. You know what I'm saying? So a little empathy goes a long way. And these types of posts always bring out these fucking corporate bots who support and advocate for exploitation. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to fall for it. Okay. You're just a fucking bot at some bot farm in China or fucking Israel, and you're just trying to agitate. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I think society's going if we remain complacent. We know what needs to be done, but we are not unified enough to take that kind of stand. Like I said, other countries have burned their cities down for much less.
Regular people shouldn't have to fight this hard just to cover the basics. Damn. The bills keep getting bigger while the money keeps getting smaller. And honestly, people are getting fed up. If you're feeling it too, subscribe to Shana Real Talk TV and let's talk about it. Happy every day.